we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
Is he referring to the thousands upon thousands of federal workers who probably know what was happening inside of our federal agencies that just got furloughed and aren't even able to get food stamps? If Donald Trump's going to try and prevent people from getting their food stamps and deprive Americans of food from a program that's considered a constitutional right, I personally think that the courts ought to consider marshaling his ass. What he's doing is illegal. There's been rulings. And if he's not going to follow through with the rulings, then I personally believe that that would make it so that he could be marshaled. And I definitely think that it constitutes as levying war against the American people, which is part of the terms and definition of the word treason. It's just my opinion. That's what I think about this. I think if he's going to starve out millions of Americans after receiving a court order that he needs to pay out those welfare benefits that are a constitutional right, his ass needs to be fucking marshaled. Like, seriously, enough of this shit, man. We all got better things to do with our time. Well, my life has been completely interrupted by the MAGAs, every aspect of it. Put out of work. Not allowed to have food. Now I'm stranded in the middle of nowhere with no source of income and no way to eat. I think I'm definitely dealing with civil rights violations. Yep, I definitely think that's how you label this. Violations of my constitutional rights. Welfare benefits actually are a constitutional right. Entitlements in welfare are government benefits that individuals are legally entitled to receive if they meet specific eligibility criteria such as age, income, or disability. These programs create a binding obligation for the government to provide payments or services to eligible recipients who have legal recourse if the benefits are not fulfilled. Examples include Social Security, Medicare, and SNAP. The Supreme Court case Goldberg v. Kelly established under law that taking people's welfare from them without fair and appropriate notice, which it certainly looks to me like everybody just suddenly, the millions of people just suddenly had their snap shut off, that is considered deprivation of property. It is a violation under the United States Constitution. It is a violation of an American's constitutional rights. The reason for that is because these programs provide vital services that keep people alive. If somebody's roof over their head is being provided by a welfare program, simply just kind of taking them out of their home all of a sudden, shutting off their benefits all of a sudden, puts them in danger. Same thing with suddenly taking away people's medical assistance, and the same thing with suddenly taking away people's food assistance. It puts them in danger. It is considered property. It is money. It is considered property. And taking those benefits is a violation of an individual's constitutional rights, and it is illegal. You know, if you MAGA people are struggling so hard with education, first of all, there's a thing called Google. I just find it so amazing how these individuals feel like they need to be so loud and shoot their mouths off like they are somehow patriots, calling themselves patriots, when they seem to know nothing about their own political system. You know, you could have just gotten a government grant and gone to college instead of treating other people like crap and making such a giant mess because you don't know what's going on around you. I literally just explained this to you in the same video that you are commenting this on. It is not my job to cater to your own lack of ability to use the same thumbs that you use to type this comment, to also go into your web browser and type into Google to understand what you obviously do not understand. Welfare benefits are a constitutionally protected right. According to the Supreme Court case, Goldberg versus Kelly, welfare recipients, welfare benefits, those are considered property under the law. The United States Constitution states that a citizen may not be deprived of their property. It is the law. It is constitutional law. It is a constitutional violation to be taking somebody's welfare benefits from them abruptly and without appropriate notice. Considering that literally millions of SNAP recipients just had their benefits shut off, this certainly appears to me to be a violation of constitutional law. Please examine Exhibit A. Focus your eyes on the letters. The main clause regarding the deprivation of property in the U.S. Constitution is the Due Process Clause, which appears both in the Fifth Amendment applying to federal government and the 14th Amendment applying to the states. If it states that the government cannot deprive a person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The case in the Supreme Court, Goldberg versus Kelly, established that welfare benefits are a form of statutory entitlement for those who qualify rather than a mere privilege or charity, and thus constitute a constitutionally protected property interest under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. There, I read it for you since you are unable to focus your eyes on the letters. Welfare benefits are protected under the Constitution, and suddenly shutting off the SNAP benefits for millions of Americans is a constitutional violation. It is a violation of the constitutional rights of millions of Americans that we are currently witnessing in regards to what is going on with SNAP. These MAGA people are out here claiming that they're patriots and they know nothing about their own country. It is not my job or the job of the rest of America to educate you because of the fact that you choose to fail to do so for yourself. If you do not even know what is going on around you or how this country functions, you are in no place to call yourself a patriot. It just feels like we're in a national kindergarten class where those of us who actually know what's going on are expected to coddle to these very ignorant, whiny individuals who have no idea what's going on, that just want to make a really big mess because they're too lazy to focus their eyes on the letters and learn something. Well then, if our welfare programs are considered a constitutional right and the president wants to deprive people of their constitutional right to their welfare programs that they are signed up for, which they rely on to literally stay alive, if he is going to violate the Constitution and violate the constitutional rights of millions of Americans, then he should be marshaled and he should be removed, because the president has a duty to take care to see to it that the laws of the land are faithfully executed. It is his responsibility and role as the president of the United States. The Constitution is the document that in international law protects the United States from outside attacks. The document, the United States Constitution, is what makes America a nation. And if it is being violated, it means our sovereignty is in danger, and it opens up the United States to be fair game for attack in circumstances of war. That is why we don't allow the president to just violate the Constitution. Because if the president violates the Constitution, it means America is not a country anymore, and anybody can come in here for land. So then, this accumulation of comments and conversation that has gone on for the last few minutes with a variety of what appears to be bots in a foreign country spewing hatred in my comments has concluded my full argument for that. Again, SNAP and welfare programs are a constitutionally protected right. Anybody who is being deprived of their benefits, unrightfully so, during this time, your constitutional rights are being violated. If the president is going to violate the Constitution by taking people's welfare benefits, then it means that there is appropriate terms to see to it that he is impeached and marshaled. This concludes my argument for why it is that I think that the president should be marshaled for tampering with welfare benefits. FRICKINIDIOT. Well, it says that Trump has threatened to withhold food stamps and also that he intends to violate the court order. So I have not received my SNAP deposit. It's supposed to be deposited on the 5th, has not happened. That means that my constitutional rights are being violated. My civil rights are being violated. And it is because of the president. Whether or not it's under his control certainly appears it is because I have not received my deposit. My rights have been violated. Yeah, no, it's not that Trump threatened to withhold SNAP food benefits. It's that he did. So people can make the argument, oh, it's not under his control, blah, blah, blah. All this crap that people are saying, well, he did. This is what he did. He just made it so people didn't receive their SNAP. So he broke the law. He violated the Constitution. He literally just violated the constitutional rights of millions of Americans in front of the whole country. And that is what happened. It's not up for speculation. This is not something to speculate on. This is what happened. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, so anyways, if you're on SNAP or any other federal programs and you have not received your deposit yet, and you were already supposed to have received your deposit this month of November 2025, screenshot your account. It's criminal evidence.
Right. I now declare this frickin' idiot convention open! Oh, and I have some other good news. Yeah, we're in first place in the frickin' idiot league.
I'll keep that.
Everyone in this sub-layer who is not a frickin' idiot, take one step forward.
Right.
Not so fast, everyone who is in this submarine layer. Oh, gold member.
Yes.
I've got an anagram for you. I fit Iron Dick.
Yes, I fit Iron Dick. Yes, it is an anagram, so that's a jumble word. Jumbling. Okay, carry the 7 divided by...
Yeah, can't get it? I fit Iron Dick. Frickin' idiot. Frickin RDIRT. With a frick here and a frick there. Here frick, there frick, everywhere frick. Dr. Evil had us filled with frickin' idiots.